Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is James and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at and reviewing the Valachio Avantiam. This is a really cool watch and it was kindly sent to me by Navsan. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. He creates some awesome videos, so be sure to check him out. Now, Valachio is actually a Kickstarter brand. It pretty much all got started through Kickstarter. They have a range of quartz watches and that's pretty much it at the moment. This was their first attempt of an automatic and manual winding watch. I'm going to read a little bit off their website and tell you what it says. So Valachio is a young Canadian watch company that was successfully crowdfunded on Kickstarter in April 2016. We plan on producing no more than 1,500 watches per year. This allows us to dutifully oversee the entire production cycle and manually inspect each watch before shipping it to you. By running a lean scale direct to consumer operation with no bureaucracy or employees, we are able to deliver innovative and high quality products with strict quality control and competitive prices. So that's what Valachio stands by. And the thing I think is really cool that he's not added, and I'd like to see him add potentially, is that the kid, I keep saying kid, he's 1 year younger than me, but the person who runs the company is a guy named Jack. And Jack is 18 years old, so I have to give massive respect to that kid. I keep saying kid, for that guy for doing it, for setting up his own business, you know, taking that giant step to actually create his own watch company, which I respect massively. You know, trying to set up my own, you know, become a watch dealer. I've got my own website now and everything. I really respect that. He's like 20 steps ahead and I hope he continues with that success. Now, unfortunately, the Avantiam didn't actually successfully reach its goal on Kickstarter. I think it was off by a few thousand, which means it won't be going to mass production. So what I will do, I'll leave a link obviously down to the website. If you're interested in purchasing this watch, send him an email. He probably has a few prototypes left that he's got up for sale. Other than that, I don't think he's going to be doing it again. There was I did get told he might consider in 2017, but in Jack's email to me, he didn't mention anything about that. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but I just wanted to review this as, you know, sort of like a guideline to probably their overall quality of all their watches. I'd like to get hold of one of their quartz watches and do a review of that down the line, but for now we'll do a review of this. So with that being said, let's change perspectives and take a closer look at the watch. All right then, before we get into it, quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Alpha Daytona Paul Newman. Absolutely love this thing at the moment. I'm recording this straight after doing the unboxing, so it's going to be on my wrist for a while, that's for sure. But yeah, let's take a closer look at this watch. So here we go. Excuse me for the bad lighting, but there is the dial. As you can see, it has an open heart at the 6 o'clock position. But before we get into all of that, let's get into the specs. So the movement it is using is 24 jewel Miyota 90S5, which beats at 28,800 beats per hour, as you can see with that smooth tick. It is automatic, hand winding and hacking, which is definitely cool. So we pull that out, it stops the balance wheel. As you can see, it's completely stopped. There we go. Now the case size is a very nice 37.5 from this point to this point. The thickness is only 10.5 and the lugs are 20 mil. Lug to lug it is 45 mil. The crystal it uses a double domed sapphire crystal. It has no lume and it is water resistant to up to 50 meters. So with the basic specs being out of the way, let's get into the review of the watch. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to cover the pros, the cons, and then my conclusion of this watch. Again, I'll say it pretty much every time. The lighting will be terrible in the videos because it's coming up to Christmas, it's winter, and here in the UK the lighting is just dreadful. I try to use as much natural light as possible. All that coming in right there is natural light, and then obviously you got my normal bedroom light. But anyway, that out of the way, let's get into the pros of this watch. Now, the one thing that struck out to me immediately, other than the dial, was the case size. I love this kind of size. 37.5 for a few people might be considered too small, but it wears very well on the wrist at 37.5. It's a really nice size and I definitely respect it. And obviously with these sort of drilled wire lugs as well, it wears a lot bigger. Now, the wide lugs look absolutely great and they're very cool as well, because they're not only like wide lugs where you have to cut the strap and all that. If you move this up, you can see there's an actual spring bar in there, so you can take off the strap. You know, you can take off the strap and put a normal 20 mil strap on this perfectly fine, which I think is really cool. They do offer a few strap choices as well. I saw a few suedes. Unfortunately, this was the one that got sent to me. Well, not unfortunately, but this is the one that got sent to me, so I will be reviewing it based on this black mock alligator leather strap. Another pro is obviously that double dome sapphire crystal, which is just it's a nice little touch, you know what I mean? There's nothing better really than sapphire, and having that on there Definitely makes for a cleaner look through the dial, and also just, well, I've got the two exact opposites on. I've got an acrylic on this and then a sapphire on this, and I would rather have the sapphire. Another great thing is the movement. It's a very, very well respected movement, not overly expensive, which is good. You know, it makes it quite affordable. It's okay decorated. You know, nothing amazing. Miyota is actually owned by Citizen, for those of you that don't know. So this movement was made by Citizen. 24 joules, so it's definitely got enough joules. It beats at 28,800 beats per hour, as I was saying, which creates a really nice smooth tick. And obviously it does have manual wind and hacking, which is just really, really cool. And I respect that in a watch. You know, it means you can set the time accurately. And since having the Aurus, I've definitely become a freak who likes doing that. It does have that Bauhaus design style to the dial, which is a very, very clean and beautiful dial. I really do like this dial. I'm going to get onto one thing that I really dislike about the dial, and I think literally lets it down in my personal opinion. But the design is beautiful. I love the fact that it's got 12, 2, 4 and all that round, that with the blue circle in the middle with a blue seconds hand. The dial is also sandblasted. It gives off a really nice sort of texture to the dial, which definitely shines true in certain lights. You know, when the sun is out in the UK, very rarely, but when it is, you definitely see that in the dial, and it looks great. As I said, the lugs are absolutely amazing. I love that they're wide lugs, but you've got a normal 20mm bar option that you can put normal straps on. Another thing is the case design, the polish of the case. You know, it's very well done. It's nothing crazy. They've not tried to be like completely ridiculously strange. They've gone with quite a traditional sort of design in terms of the case, quite a normal polish, and it just works. It works really well. The final thing I want to say in the pros is it's overall just well made. Like the case part of things, you know, with the crown and everything, it's nicely decorated with a V for Valachio on there. I'm sorry if I'm completely butchering the company's name, I usually do. And it's got a nice texturing around the crown as well, which makes it easier to grip. So overall, the build quality of this watch is very, very nice in this part. Right, and let's get on to the cons. Now, my first con, I'll cover it straight away, in my opinion, is that open heart. Now, I know a lot of people really like the open hearts, and I do as well. I like open hearts. I think they look cool, but not on this Bauhaus design. You know, it ruins that cleanness of the dial. I can't even begin to imagine how beautiful this would have looked if that wasn't on there. And in my opinion, that really, really, really massively lets it down. I just think, you know, and also it's got this sort of decoration on the bridge or whatever that is, and it looks poorly done to me. The decoration, it's like and this is probably a bit harsh, but it's like they've just sort of gone, okay, we've got an open heart and now it's just not decorated, so let's just quickly stamp it. And I think that's what they did. It doesn't look very nice in my opinion, and it kind of lets the whole design down, which is a big statement, I know, but I just don't like it. An exhibition caseback, however, I like an exhibition caseback, even if the movement isn't very well decorated and very nice to look at. You know, it's just a nice little feature that you can see what's going on in the watch. Now, the crown, it looks great. It's got the V and everything, and it's got a nice grip, but it's far too small, in my opinion. Far, far, far too small. You know, you find yourself trying to wind the watch or use it, and it's just, this crown is just literally minute. Like, you know what I mean? And also the positioning, I'd have rathered it at 3. I've got a feeling this is something to do with the movement used. I don't know how all that works. Part of the thing I like about my reviews is I don't know how the internals work that well. So it's more a proper review of just the watch kind of thing. But I'm not a fan of the crown. I wish it was at 3. I think that it definitely suited the design a lot more, because now it just looks like, I don't know. That's just me personally. It's at half 3, and I'd rather it at 3 and a bit bigger crown. The hour and minute hand, if you've been watching closely, you'll see that it just goes completely invisible. It's like a very high polish stainless steel hand, and whilst it looks absolutely brilliant when the light's on it, when you're in low light positions, it's just invisible. And I'm not just talking about right now with the lights set up and everything. Like when I'm out and about, I wore this when I was out, and it got dark here at about 4, and it was completely invisible to see. Even with like street lights shining down, you just could not see the time. So with normal legibility, it's dreadful. Them hands, as nice as they are, they're not very legible at all, and it's because of the black dial. You know, it just disappears within it, and you just can't see what's going on at all. And let's get onto the strap. So it's this mock alligator grain sort of strap. You know, I've got a few of these myself. They're okay. Like the strap itself is alright. It's nothing dreadful. It's definitely nothing good either, but it's nothing dreadful. The thing that's dreadful is this butterfly clasp. It's signed Valachio there on the fold over bit that goes in. It's really, really bad. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it squeaks and everything. Like, it's just really, in my opinion, very, very cheap. Okay, so this is my opinion. I like these kind of things if they're done well. This, in my opinion, is not done very well. I think what Jack was trying to do was trying to offer the consumer like a really high quality product with a lot of features for as little price as possible, and I respect that, but I think it would have served him a lot better just to have had a normal strap with the watch. Now obviously that's no big deal because these aren't wired lugs where you've got to cut the strap and all that. They are just normal lugs, so you can just swap out the strap. It's not that big of a deal, but I feel like it's worth saying because it's really bad in my opinion. It doesn't sit very well as well when you put it in. It's overall not very good at all, and I think he was trying a bit too hard with this. But okay, that's pretty much all my cons out of the way. I hope you enjoyed that. Now let's get on to my conclusion. Overall, I think this is a very well made watch. I think if you bought this, I don't know what they're going at, but if let's say $300, I think $300 for something like this is a good price to pay. Personally, I would never ever buy it because of the open heart. Literally because of that, really. If it didn't have an open heart, this would be something I would consider because I'm really into the Bauhaus design, and I've even openly said I think my next purchase, like of a big watch, will be a Nomos. So I definitely want to consider that, but this unfortunately just ruins the Bauhaus design with the open heart, in my opinion. It's got a very good movement. I respect Miyota's. I know a lot of people out there don't. I rate them. I think they're good. So nice little design there. I think the crown lets it down as well, being so small. And just this, but you can swap this out, so that's not big of a deal. Overall, I think it's a very well made watch, and I think Jack has done really well with this, considering it's his first ever automatic and manual winding watch. We've got to remember that, guys. You know, he's focused on quartz so far, and unfortunately this didn't go through, but I hope in 2017 he's going to give something else a go. Maybe even the same design, just without the open heart. I think you might actually have more luck, if I'm completely honest. And maybe somehow moving the crown to 3. But that's the least of the worries. I think if you did this design without the open heart, you'd definitely do very well. And I think you'd smash the goal. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Of course, I could be wrong. At the end of the day, I don't know the market like the back of my hand. I don't really follow it that much. But overall, a very good watch, and I think Jack has done a great job. So I'll leave a link to his website down below, and you can inquire about getting one of these if you're interested, or taking a look at his other stuff. But thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care and peace out.